Hi guys, this is Wisdom here, and welcome to three common mistakes that many new authors make. And my name is Wisdom, and I'm a two-time award-winning author. And of course, one of the things I do is to help leaders, entrepreneurs accentuate their voices through the marketplace, and of course, mainly through the power of a book. So, in saying that, the book is more like a starting point and stuff like that. So today, I just wanted to look at the three specific mistakes that I see a lot of authors make, and remembering, of course, that the whole thing about books is about leaving a legacy. It's about impact. It is about serving the marketplace. It's also about sharing your passion through the avenue of a book and stuff like that. So in saying that, over the years, I've seen many people say, "I want to write a book. I want to write a book," and of course, for some of them, up to now, they don't have a book yet. No judgment. And I've seen that a couple of times now. In saying that, they usually many times there could be a number of issues, number of reasons relating to that, which is a whole different kettle of fish. Again for some other time. But today I just want to share these three mistakes, and hopefully this is going to help you, quite a lot of you guys out there. Now, yeah. In saying that, let's get into it. Now, the first mistake I want to share with you guys is it will shock you. It will shock you, but it is out there. It is actually a mistake that I find a lot. One of that particular mistake is, of course, people who just start writing a book without an outline. And let me be honest with you. It's like building a house without a plan. So you can imagine the quality of work, and I think for somebody who is experienced, not experienced, but the moment you read something, when you come to the middle or even to the end of it, sometimes you just know that this person, they didn't have an outline. I remember somebody sent me an email many months ago, and they said, "Can you just check this out?" And then I took that and began to read it. Halfway through, before I even finished the whole thing, halfway through, I wrote back and I said, "Hey, you didn't have an outline for this, did ya?" And they wrote back, they're like, "No, I didn't. How did you know?" There you go. Yes, that because when you don't have an outline, it affects the flow of things, and it really creates something that is mediocre in a way. And also, the main thing, of course, it affects the way the ideas flow through because there's no outline. You just kind of like, winging it and stuff. We don't want that. We want to create something good, something wonderful, something that will create a good user experience, something that will be blessing somebody, something that will create value in the life of somebody. So if you don't have an outline, you'll have a problem. Okay, so that's first mistake number one. So if you're one of those people who are writing a book right now, think about one of the most important things you can do for yourself is make sure you have an outline. Okay, right. Let's jump to number two. The second mistake I want to share with you guys is lack of clarity on the target audience. You'd be shocked, even if I go on Amazon right now, there are some book titles that are there, but because whoever wrote the book, they didn't have a clear target. So that can also have a bearing on the title of the book as well, which is a different topic by itself. I'll address that some other later stage, but I think I gotta make sure that I address this one in terms of having a clear target, in terms of target audience. Who are you writing the book for? You'll be shocked by the number of people that have got books that when you look at it, you really wonder what they're talking to. And not only that, but even when you, even when some people now they're at the point where maybe they've started a project, they're in the middle of a project, but when you ask them who is this for, they're not clear. You don't want that. So this is one of the key things that one has to do. One needs to do the work, prepare for, so that later you don't have problems. Now, in saying that, if you are dealing with that, of course, you need help with that. Of course, you can direct message me, inbox me, leave a comment, whatever the case might be, and that sort of thing. But this is one of the most important elements of the whole process. You gotta be clear in terms of whether you're talking about the niche or, but the most important thing in terms of that I'm talking about here about target audience on the basic level. We want to know who is the book for. This is what I'm saying, target audience. And then of course, for those who are more advanced, we can then talk about niching, and then we can talk about branding and other stuff. That's at a later stage. But at this point, these common mistakes, you'll be shocked by how many people have this mistake. Lack of clarity on the intended audience or target market for the book. This is very, very, very important. It's a foundational, it's pretty much a foundational element of the whole process. Okay. Number two, lack of clarity on target audience, or of course, like I was saying before, for those more advanced, we're going to talk about niches, what niche is this, and stuff like that. So, but at a basic level, lack of clarity on the target audience, or maybe target market, if you want to call it that. Now, the third element is, of course, what I want to talk about is hesitancy. Hesitancy among new authors, hesitance among new people who are particularly new in the whole world of personal development space, and of course, new authors, particularly when you talk about nonfiction, because at the end of the day, this is even if you're writing a fiction, even if you're a fiction author, you find that in this space, because the way technology is moving, and because as people we grow, evolve, one must not be constantly hesitating in investing oneself. Now, so this is the common thing. That's why I call it the mistake as well. A common thing where, okay, let me say that would be like hesitancy, or hesitancy in terms of investing in oneself, hesitancy in terms of advancing themselves, in terms of investing in themselves. Now, here's the deal: because the way we are right now as a human race, because of the changes that are taking place, you find that in a lot of let's talk, for example, corporates. You find a lot of organizations, they send maybe the managers, whatever, to retreats. Sometimes the companies pay for those retreats, and they send some employees to seminars, to training events and stuff like that. This is because companies are invested in the development of their employees. So because of that, they tend to invest, because they know that if they take this employee and send them over for 2-3 day retreat where they're going to be trained and coached in certain areas, when they come back, they're an asset to the organization. This is one of the reasons why companies invest a lot in terms of sending their CEOs, their managers, their team leaders to specific trainings that cover specific areas. They invest that because they know that at the end of the day, the company will benefit, because shortly after that training has been done, you find that within a few weeks, even a few months, you start seeing that the company started getting a return on investment through better performance, better productivity, maybe a cut on expenses, and many other things that are coming from that initial investment of sending their employees for further seminars, further trainings, and stuff like that. So it's the same thing. So once you become an author, you're already in the personal development space. So it only makes sense for you to be constantly being able to invest in terms of coaching, whatever the case might be, and whether it's books, it's coaching, it's seminars, it's stuff. And one thing that I love about coaching is that you're getting an opportunity to actually understand how somebody does things, how someone does something, and also you're learning new skills, you're also getting more knowledge. And of course, sometimes when it comes to coaching, there's an element of accountability, because many people, the things you're trying to do, your friends are not doing them, so they don't understand. So the friends can help you in terms of the specifics, and maybe not only that, but even yourself in terms of upping your game. Because sometimes one of the things you find between let's say a training seminar and coaching is this. A training seminar, you're getting all the stuff, then you go do it on your own. But with coaching, you now have one of the advantage coaching is you have access to proximity. You now have proximity. Okay. You now have access, or you now have proximity to somebody. That means you can do something, and then you can easily reach back and say, "Hey, look, I did this. Where did I get wrong?" They can give you that invaluable feedback, which is priceless. Whereas you don't get that when you do when you go for a seminar, because when you go for a day seminar, you just get the information, right? And then you go home and then you do it on your own. And maybe if you get stuck, you don't have maybe somebody to help you out or say, how did you do this? That sort of thing. Whereas you're working with a coach, the advantage is they already know, because they've spoken to you, they know exactly where you are. So if you have problems, they know exactly how to help you. Now, that is priceless. That is priceless. This is why you find Serena Williams, This is where I find, Serena Williams, Djokovic, and many of the top performers, whether in sports, in the corporate world, whatever you name it, they always have coaching, because one of the things with coaching is that immediate feedback. Number one, number two, that element of accountability. Okay, accountability. With someone actually who's in the game with you, they understand where you are. They know exactly what you're trying to achieve and stuff like that. So so that's the last thing I want to share with you guys. That element of being hesitancy to when it comes to investing in themselves. So basically, you'll find that once you're in this space, it's all about growth. You want to have a growth mindset. That means at any point, if you find a coach, or whatever the case might be, a seminar, training, whatever it is that you feel that this is more aligned towards whatever it is you're doing, by all means, don't hesitate, because at the end of the day, it's no longer an expense. It's not an investment towards your future, because you're gaining that extra knowledge, you're gaining that extra wisdom, you're gaining that extra experience. You're also gaining that maybe sometimes proximity, because now you have access to somebody who can give you that immediate feedback. Say, look, this is what you're trying to do. If you continue on this path, it may take you 5 years, but you know what? Let's collapse the timeline and get you and have this done in 6 months. Yeah, and I remember a very interesting story that I usually like to give, where when it comes to these things. I remember, I think it was a few years back. I think it was Serena Williams in one of the finals, Australian Open finals. I think she was 2 sets down or something like that, or stayed down. I can't remember exactly, but I know one thing for sure, that she was down, and then apparently during the halftime, during the break time, she then called Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins spoke to her and came back. She smashed it. She won the Australian Open Tennis Championship for that particular year. Now, you then wonder, that's one of the things, because of course she was being coached by Tony Robbins. She had access to him. So in the meantime, when during the breaks, she had an opportunity to say, you know what, I'm going to pick up the phone, and she spoke to Tony, and of course, she eventually won that. So that just gives you an example what can happen when somebody is working with a coach, because obviously now you have access. You have that proximity that many people may want, but they don't have that. Because, yeah, exactly. So that's one of the things. And of course, like I was saying before, one of the key things, of course, with that is accountability. So my encouragement to you is that once you're in this personal development space, you got to be able to, you can't afford to be hesitant. You can't afford to be hesitant when it comes to investing in yourself. So in nutshell, be prepared to invest in yourself. That's one of the key things relating to that. Because like I was saying, the world is constantly evolving. So in saying that, these are the 3 things I want to share with you guys relating to the 3 common mistakes that many authors make. And of course, number 1, we talked about not having an outline, which is very dangerous. And of course, lack of clarity on the target audience or the niche. And of course, last but not least, a hesitancy towards investing in themselves. And of course, in saying that, I always encourage people to have a growth mindset. So in saying that, guys, I got to bounce, and always remember, you have a common destiny. And of course, you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. If any of the things I've said resonates with you and you need help on any of the topics that I've covered related to projects and stuff like that, you can either leave a comment or you can inbox me. And of course, also in the comments, you can also check out Unleash the Book Within for those who want something to read, of course, or else you can check out via my bio, Unleash the Book Within, which is an award-winning book. I got that award end of April this year from the Jenkins Group, which ran the Elite Awards. So in saying that, guys, always remember, you have an uncommon destiny. This is your sleep. So yeah,